Welcome back to the shop in Toronto. This is James. Wanted to talk today about the often forgotten about lowly dial indicator. You know, such an important tool that we use to set our planing forms. And it's often just sloughed off. People say you need to get one and they don't really explain too much about it, and the books don't explain too much about it. So for the new guys, hopefully this will bring some clarity. And for the old dogs that have a look, maybe you'll see something that you haven't seen. Certainly the 2904 Mitutoyo indicator is the one that I found to be the best. You'll see a couple of white dial indicators there. Those are both Mitutoyo indicators. Those were given to me by the late Bill Wara. When I was starting to build rods in the early 1990s, he was visiting Toronto, and every time he came, he always had a box of goodies, and I have a number of tools that he gave me which are highly prized, and these two indicators are two of those. So thanks, Bill. They're still in use, and hopefully I can pay it forward by showing how they work to some new builders. So what do we got? Your basic dial indicator. If you look at your basic dial indicator, you'll see that the large numbers get bigger as they go to the right. You'll see they work like a clock. There's also a reverse reading indicator, which is this one here. And this one looks exactly the same, except the numbers go the opposite way. That's the 2904S Mitutoyo, and that's known as a reverse reading indicator. So it reads in the opposite direction. Another type of indicator that's gaining popularity is the digital indicator. And those are very effective, and they're nice because they're fairly easy to read. Nice big numbers. You don't have to stare at them. So what's going on when you buy an indicator at the store? Well, first all you get is the indicator. And also the point that's on the indicator when you buy it, which is this little point, is not a 60-degree point. Since our planing forms are 60 degrees, we need a 60-degree point to give us an accurate reading. So those little points you can buy. They cost around $10. You're going to have to go on the internet or go to your local machine supply store and grab a catalog. And they're made by Starrett. They're made by Mitutoyo. The thread is a very common thread, so they all seem to fit. But you're definitely going to have to go and get a true 60-degree point. The other thing that you're going to need to buy is this heavy base that's on the bottom, because that's not something that regular stores will sell, because it's something that really only us bamboo guys need. So you're either going to have to make one, find a friend to make you one, or buy one from some of the bamboo supply guys like Bellinger and those types of places that offer tooling for bamboo rod makers. But that's not something that you're going to get at a Harbor Freight or a Grizzly or your local tool store. The big problem is that the standard dial indicator, these are designed to measure from 0 to 1 inch, and you'll see that the little clock in the corner is for tenths, and this is for 1,000. So you go up to 99, and this will move to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's how you read the tenths, and then the second and third digit are read on the main dial. If you're going to use this for bamboo rod making, you're going to have to learn to use the numbers on the inside. The little tiny number that sits under 90, there's a 10, it's actually in red. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. But we want to read in a reverse fashion, which is why this indicator is so much more convenient, because it has only one set of numbers, and it's the set of numbers that we need, the reverse reading numbers. The only challenge is this indicator is $100, give or take, maybe $120, somewhere around there, where you can buy an import version of your standard one for around $16 to $25, somewhere in there. And the Chinese import ones work fine for bamboo rod making. They really do work fine. So if you buy one of these basic ones, you're going to have to learn to read the inside numbers. You're going to have to either make a base, or you're going to have to buy one. And then you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to find and order a 60-degree point to go on the end. So once you have those three things, you're almost ready to set your planing forms. That was my son opening the door, if you heard the big noise there. And the same thing if you buy a digital one. You're going to have to also get a 60-degree point, and you're also going to have to get a base. So once you have an indicator, and once you've got a base for it, and once you've got a 60-degree point, and you put them all together, they're still not calibrated to read the depth of your planing form, because they don't know what's going on. They just move up and down. So you're going to have to give it a starting point. And the way we do that is by using some sort of calibration device. This one here is made by Bellinger, and it's designed to lay on a flat surface. It has in it, I'm just going to check the camera setting here to see if you can actually see what I'm doing. It has in it a precision hole, which is 0.125 or 1/8 of an inch. When you set the indicator on it, the indicator reads 0.108. 0.108. Now it's going to read correctly in your planing forms. Here's a sample form. It's a piece of metal with a 60-degree groove in it, so it's just like it would be if it was a planing form. So we're going to lay that down. I know that this reads about, it's about 1/4 of an inch deep, but it's not the most exact groove, so we'll just put this on there. And we're going to have a look at this, and it reads 1, 2, well, almost 126. Let's have a look. There you go, 125.5. So now I know, because I've used two devices that tell me it's in the correct spot. Now, interesting, if you put, logic tells you that if you put this on a flat surface, it should read 0. But it doesn't. And the reason is that this little point, hopefully you can see that in the camera, I'm going to have to peek here. This little point is not exactly, it can't exactly be a true point, otherwise it would be a tiny sharp thing. So that's basically rounded off a little bit. So that's giving you a variation of about 3,000. So you can't really set these by setting them on a flat surface. You do not get an accurate reading. So you have to come up with a way to calibrate your device. And once you do that, you're good to go. You know, just check it when you go to set your forms. And I just wanted to show you another way that you can adjust forms, which is written up in the planing form quite a while ago. And it's done by basically taking a rod. Now you have to know the diameter of the rod. It sits in the groove of the planing form. And then you put an indicator, this is called a test indicator, on top, and you get a reading. So by using a little simple math, you can set your forms using an indicator of that type. It works the same way, it works very well, and not quite as fast, but it's definitely an effective way, and it gets you out of having to find a 60-degree point, and it also gets you out of having to calibrate them, because you can calibrate that a different way. So that's just another way of doing things. That's a nice little indicator. This one's also made by Toyo. These guys are busy guys, but that's what it looks like there. And it moves up and down. It only has a travel of about 0.150, where the other ones have a travel of an inch or half an inch, depending. So hopefully that clarifies things for you. Most people are using the standard indicator. Just learn to use the inside numbers. And as far as the little hand down here, when you calibrate it, you probably won't use the 1. What I suggest you do is set it at so it reads 508. That gives you lots of travel, and then you just learn that the 5 means 108. So that's a little oddball way of doing it, but it works well. Or if you want to get the actual correct one, 2904S, it's a great device, about $100. Thanks to Bill Wara. In 1995, it was probably still $75. And then the option of going with the digital. The only challenge with the digital is that when you're setting it, because these ones here, I'll just show you how we do that here by lowering that a little bit. Actually, it's already, we know it's 108. If this was off, I'd be able to adjust it. Like if it's reading there, I know that it's not 108, which it should be. So by turning this outside dial, I can set it to 108. On the digital ones, you can't do that. So what you're going to have to do is loosen the set screw and slide this up and down. It takes a few tries to get it just right until you get the reading of 108. And then you lock that down. Let's just swap this over and see what it's reading. When I put it on that one, 108.5. Sometimes that 5 can just be some dust or a little fleck of something. It's such a small value, but those are adjusted by, as I said, by loosening the set screw here and sliding that up and down until you get exactly what you want, and then you tighten the set screw. So there's the world according to dial indicators. Hopefully that brings some clarity, especially for the new guy. And like all things, if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me at canebuilder@gmail.com and subscribe to the channel. And if you like it, click like. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you're out in the shop building. This is James in Toronto saying goodbye for today.